All right, guys, today I want to talk about how you can disguise your serve so that when you're hitting a slice, a flat, or a topspin slash kick, your opponent doesn't know it, doesn't know what's coming, can't read it. And a lot of coaches will say, let's put the ball in the same place and be able to hit all those serves from one ball throw, from one contact point. But I find that pretty difficult. I know someone like Roger Federer can do it. I'm not Roger Federer. I assume Roger Federer is not watching this video. Most people are going to have their serve throw up a little bit different. So for example, on a slice serve, you might feel like throwing it out wide so you can get around it. On a topspin and kick, it's going to be a lot easier if it's over your head. So I'm going to talk about those different ball throws, but also I'm going to explain how you can be a little bit sneaky with it. So your opponent thinks you're going to hit one thing, but you're actually able to hit a different spot. So I'm going to explain to you how I do this as a player, because even in my prime, I was really only serving like 115 miles an hour downwind. Like, I'm not a big server. So I have to be able to hit my spots, hit different spins, but also be a little bit sneaky so my opponent can't tell what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how I do this and how you can do it in this video. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of things in this video, just whatever comes to my mind. I'm going to be freestyling. The first thing I would say is, you want to get comfortable hitting the spins you want to hit. So you got to be able to hit a flat serve, you got to be able to hit a slice, and you got to be able to hit a topspin. And if it helps you to throw the ball in different places, just do it. You know, everyone who's a decent tennis player has done this serve before, where you're throwing it out wide and you're coming around it, you're hitting this nasty slice serve here. And everyone's played around with that. I suggest you, if you've not done that, play around with it. Throw it out wide, carve around it, see how much spin you can get on the ball. But obviously, when you're hitting a slice serve in a match and you start throwing it a little bit wider, then everyone kind of knows that's coming. That would have been nasty. Everyone knows that's coming and they're gonna obviously lean over there. And it's always worrying if you're going out wide with a slice serve and someone reads it, because they're usually sitting on a forehand. So I'm always trying to disguise that a little bit. So what I like to practice is making sure that my flat serve and my slice serve are very similar in where I'm striking the ball from, which would be right above my right shoulder. I think this is pretty much where every pro is going to hit us, going to make contact with the ball. It's going to be right above the right shoulder, maybe a little bit to the left, and this is going to be where they're powerful. But also, you see how my racket's tilted to the inside? This puts my wrist in a strong position. We don't want to be overstretching to where we're in this position and this wrist is weak. Not only is it weak as you strike it, but you struggle to pronate because the wrist ends up going to the outside, and we really want to be on the inside pronating. So whether you're hitting a slice or a flat serve, we want a similar ball throw. I've got a feeling when I watch this video back, my ball throw is going to be all over the place, and I'm not going to be doing what I'm preaching. But here we go. We'll go flat, we'll go T. And then we'll go slice from the same ball throw. That was a little wider, I think. All right, relax, Tom. All right, so not the best, but it's important that you can have a similar ball throw for those two serves so that when you go wide, your opponent's not reading it. Now, when I play doubles and I stand a little bit wider from the deuce, my favorite serve is to go out wide. It also depends on the court. This court's pretty grippy, and I find that sometimes these are jumping back a little bit. If you play indoor, or I grew up on outdoor AstroTurf, an indoor carpet, that slice will go. If you're serving from a little bit wider, especially if you're playing doubles, that out wide serve is awesome. I love that serve, but I'm always paranoid that someone's going to be expecting it and just, you know, sitting there waiting for it. So if I feel like I am being, now maybe my ball throw up's not perfect and people can actually read when I'm going to hit a slice. So what I would be doing is to be slicing occasionally to the backhand. So if I go up the tee, I don't always have to hit a flat serve. So if I want to set up my out wide serve, because that's my favorite serve, I can also hit a slice up the middle. So let's say I throw it a little bit wider because that's how I hit my awesome out wide serve. I can still go up the tee and I'm going to lose a little bit of angle because it's coming in, but I could also go body serve, right? I could swing it into their body, but that's just going to make it, you know, when it looks like I'm going to slice because I've thrown it wide and then I go out wide, I'm going to have a little bit more space there. So as I started by saying, if you feel comfortable hitting that serve with spin and you only really get a good slice serve from a wide ball throw up, make sure you can also slice it to different parts of the court, because you can slice it even from this side. I can still slice to the backhand. Yes, it won't go like, might not be an ace because it's going to curve back in, but it doesn't have to be an ace. I can hit a slice there to the backhand, go body from backhand or body from this side, and just set up my out wide from that side or my down the middle from this side. Because what you don't want to be doing is always going flat backhand and then always going slice forehand, and then every time you throw the ball in different places, someone knows where it's coming. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm available to answer any questions in the comment section below. So if this isn't clear, let me know and I'm always there to respond. So as I said, we can go from this side and we can slice it to the backhand. All right, that's kind of body. You know, that's fine. I can get a first serve into the backhand. That looks like that's what my ball throw up is. It's out wide. I'm a slice server, and then that serve, I can maybe get an ace because they're not sitting on it quite as much. So if my flat and my slice ball throw ups are different, I can go flat out wide here, try and rush people on their forehand, and maybe my flat serve up the tee that has a slightly different ball throw up than my slice serve will be less readable. I would say going quick to the forehand like that also rushes people, because people have big swings on their forehand sometimes. Quite often people's forehand return can be a little bit more dangerous, but they often miss it because it's way bigger than their backhand return. People have pretty compact backhands, so quite often I'll just try and go big to the forehand, but you know, second serves I'm usually trying to hit it to their backhand side. So something again to consider. Okay, now to my favorite sneaky play, and that is to be hitting a kick serve. And I've done quite a few videos on kick serve. There's one, if you go to my website, tpatennis.com, there'll be a pop-up there. I put together a 19-minute kick serve video. I'll leave it in the description below. But if I'm hitting a kick serve or a topspin serve, I'm going to throw the ball a little bit further over my head. That's going to get the racket to sit on a steeper angle, which means I can brush up it and hit up on the ball, get that ball high and jump in. Let me go slow so I don't break my back. Okay, so you can see I kind of like that one. So, you know, sometimes you can actually tell someone, hey, I'm going to kick this serve high to your backhand, and it's still going to be my most effective serve. I don't necessarily have to disguise that too much. That doesn't look like I'm going to hit a slice, doesn't look like I'm going to hit it flat. I'm hitting a kick serve. And to be honest, when I'm playing people, I know when they're going to hit a kick serve. Like, usually I'm not surprised that it's a topspin serve. I can just tell by the way they throw the ball up. So we don't have to disguise that too much, and you just have to get good at executing the shot. However, here's my favorite bit. Hope I don't screw this up now. What I would do from this kind of ball throw up and kick serve setup is to throw the ball a little bit further out in front, because that allows me to rotate my body and slice it a little bit. Actually come around it. So I'm essentially changing my ball throw up this way, which is far more difficult for my opponent to see than if I change it this way. All right, so I'm gonna throw it over my head, and if I throw it a little bit in front, I can look like I'm gonna hit a kick, but pull it up the middle. And that was rubbish. That never happened. Here we go. There it is. So not amazing, but it's gonna work if my opponent is hanging out on that backhand, you know, worried about those high backhands. They're moving forwards, they're moving to the left, and I can hit it up the middle. I've actually hit a lot of second serve aces up the tee, you know, especially when I've been practicing this, because no one's ready for it. And if you play the score, and you know, to be honest, like the more of a tight situation is, the less they're expecting that play. So even in some crunch situations, I've been able to get some aces because no one's expecting it. But on the flip side, all I got to do is hit a couple of those, and it makes my kick serve out wide a little bit better as well. So I'm always trying to hit a few of those. And I watched a video earlier in sort of preparation for this, see what other coaches were saying about it. And you know, someone was saying if you have the same ball throw up every time, it takes away all the variables, right? If you've got all these different ball throws and all these different spins, there's a lot going on. But for me, and I agree with that, but for me it's just difficult to hit effective, good kick serves from a neutral position. So I encourage people to move the ball around if it helps them to get certain slices and kicks and all this stuff, and then play with it a little bit to see from that position if you can manipulate the ball and achieve a different serve and be a little bit sneaky with it. But it's a good message that when you're hitting a first serve, to have the same ball throw up. It's a pretty decent message. And maybe one thing you can do is you can have a consistent first serve ball throw up where you're hitting a slice or a flat serve from a same position, but then have a kick serve position where that you are consistent with that. You throw it a little bit further over your head, but you try and get it in the same place every single time. Don't worry that your slice and your kick serve ball throw ups are different. I think that's normal, and I think it's going to help you to execute the shot. All right, I have just rambled on here. Hopefully you got something out of this video. If you want me to help you with your serve, you can visit me at tpatennis.com. We can do a video analysis where we can work together for a month. You send me unlimited videos and we just go back and forth. So a lot of people are improving the game doing that. If not, just keep watching my YouTube channel. Give me a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you soon.